Welcome back to the Suburban Homestead, everyone. My name is Megan, and in this video, I'm going to be taking you along as I pretty much use and preserve our strawberries. So, strawberries have been on sale. I grabbed a whole bunch. I think I'm all up about 1.5 kilos. Now, we eat a lot of strawberries in the house, but we don't eat that many. We're about to eat that many in such a short period of time, and I don't want them to go to waste. So in this video, I'm going to be making strawberry syrup. So here I've already thoroughly washed them. I'm just chopping them up, and I'm going to be blending them in batches. And the idea is I'm going to be doing the strawberry syrup. I'm going to be saving some to make in an ice cream. I always tend to make like a yogurt or a homemade ice cream, and turn it into a bit of like an ice block, with the molds that I have. But I'm also going to be freezing some in ice cube trays, for later use. So there it is. I've chopped up my first little batch. I'm just using the baby NutriBullet thing that I've had for a couple years. In hindsight, I probably wouldn't have bought this one, but anyways, it does the job. Probably not as great as some other blenders, so it doesn't just sit there and work and blend as it should. So I do have to shake it up a little bit to make sure that the strawberries do get blended as a consistency that I want for doing this syrup. So I do have to give it quite a bit of a shake, and that's just what I'm doing now. So there it is. That's what it looks like. Now, I will be sieving it, just to make sure that, like I don't want any seeds and stuff or any other excess of the strawberries going into the syrup. So I do use a fine sieve. I'm just going to use one of our pots to catch the syrup as I go. And I'm just going to be doing a few bunches. I've got quite a few strawberries, but because it's such a small blender, I do have to do them in batches. Otherwise, it just won't work. So I'm just going to be chopping them all up and blending them as I go, and then straining them in the sieve. Now here I do want to make sure that the syrup continues to drain through the fine sieve. So I do use a whisk just to try and move things around and get it going down a bit easier. So I just continually use the whisk. I probably could just let it sit there for a while. But I am also in the mix of cooking dinner as well. So the more you obviously use the whisk to move it around, you end up with all this excess stuff that you don't want in your syrup, like the seeds and stuff. Just doesn't taste nice. I think I feel like it turns it bitter. But just look at that. There's quite a lot of syrup there, which is fantastic. Exactly the consistency that I want. So here I'm just spooning it into some ice cube trays. Like I said, I will use that for a later use, maybe in muffins or another ice cream or whatever it is. I would like to be able to have that to be able to use another time, especially if the price of strawberries do go up and while I wait for our own strawberries to grow. So I ended up just using the one ice cube tray. I just filled that one up. And I'll have a look at putting that in the freezer. Just want to make sure I tap it a little bit to see if there's any air pockets. That wouldn't make a big difference, but I like to do that anyway. I'm going to be using and saving this excess for the ice cream that I'll be making. So I'm just going to put that in a container and then pop that in the fridge just to keep chilled until it's time to actually use it. So here we have it. The ice cubes, strawberry syrup ice cubes are now frozen. So I'm just going to pop them in a Ziploc bag and just leave them in the freezer for when I will need them. So I can easily just, take the bag out, grab one of the cubes and then put it in whatever I'm using. So really easy. So now it's time for the ice cream. So I had this mix churning. It's homemade. The mix has been churning about 15-20 minutes-ish before I started adding this, the strawberry syrup. So I'm just going to let it churn away and do its thing until it's time. So here we have the end result. I use only a little bit of syrup this time around. I actually use a bit more vanilla extract. Still very tasty. Kids absolutely love it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like our channel, please like and just subscribe, and also head to our Instagram page, The Suburban Homesteader AUS.